G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing as the English, it is Vortex. And to the south, spawning in as the red French player, it is Wham01. Fellas, welcome. This is Golden League. We are resuming for the I guess it's the second weekend of round number 3. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, then you better head over to Twitch because as I'm casting this game, it is live right now, the action, and I suspect we'll probably be on to the next couple rounds by then. So jump on over. I'm going to leave a link in the description to where you can catch Golden League. If you're watching this a little bit later, then it'll be on this weekend or next weekend. Make sure 15 GMT. Saturday, Sunday, it'll be there. All right, just go down there, check the link. It might be on. I might be casting there right now if you're watching it. But look, let's talk a little bit about where we're at in this game, in this series. So this is it, Vortex versus Wham. This is an important series because we're in the losers bracket. It's a best of 3. These guys have drafted their civilizations. They've chosen their they've chosen what civilizations and what maps they want. As you can see, Vortex has got some pretty strong picks there, but by the same token, Wham's not got some bad picks either. I kind of prefer Vortex's pool just because he's got China. You guys know I'm a big fan of China. I think it's pretty decent in the meta. He did pick his home map as King of the Hill as well, which means he's pretty much going to have a safe China map to play because King of the Hill is considered to be a pretty decent Chinese map. But let's talk a little bit about Wham. Let's see how he's doing, because Wham is doing quite well, and you can see up towards the north, he's continuing to find plenty of sheep. If we do a little bit of a sheep shag and count. Oh my lord, Vortex coming out already. Look at that. The Age 1 men-at-arms are back, baby. I didn't even realize this was happening. I'm too busy focusing on other things. And meanwhile, look what we got on right here. Little bitey infantry getting in on the action, trying to... Oh, he's caught him with his pants down. Wham, you got to be careful, my friend. Wham now going to be focused down right here. The men-at-arms going to be making his way out. You can see how much damage it gets down on that first villager. Second villager... Did the wolf just dropped aggro completely? What the heck happened there? I didn't even realize. I always stop to kill the wolf, but speaking of killing the wolves, look at the villagers taking so much damage. Look at this timing. This was actually some pretty impeccable timing coming out right now. Vortex doing a great job. The Age 1 men-at-arms actually doing insanely well, and now continuing to focus down. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's terrible damage. The men-at-arms has never been so effective, and now the wolf's getting it. Oh my god, it's so good. The wolf is getting in on the action as well. The villager going to continue coming out. You can see he's trying his best to kill it. Oh my lord, he's managed to gather up the gold, and now men-at-arms, you've done a good job, son. You can go home. You can go home. You've done a good job. Wow, that was an incredible delay that we just saw coming out there from Vortex. Meanwhile, Wham has now got 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers, 5 villagers that are seriously injured. Whoa. Okay, that is a bit of a yikes. That is very scary because, as you guys know, English, they're a civilization that can be pretty aggressive when they start pushing out with longbows. And if he spots just a villager with, 18 health on it, he just gets 3 longbows, bam, dead. That's it. That's how it works. Wham going to be coming back with the sheep now, but definitely not paying attention there to what the expected, not the expected, I shouldn't say expected, but what the it's always a possibility that the English are going to hit you hard. And one of the things that we've started to see players doing up against the English, even in this matchup, in other matchups, is just gathering their gold very early. So not being afraid to just gather up a whole bunch of gold. And we got to say, this is a beautiful opening coming out here from Vortex. Wheelbarrow coming in now. I love this. This is essentially what I thought would be the dream English play. So you open up with a men-at-arms, and then you're behind this grabbing wheelbarrow, and then also adding in farms as well. There's a bit of a rhyme right there, men-at-arms and farms. Yeah, now a second men-at-arms coming out. I like this. This is actually so smart when you think about it. This is such a big brain play. I can't believe how nice Vortex is looking right here, because now the men-at-arms comes out, and all of a sudden, you know those knights that you were going to make? Well, bad luck. You know that wheelbarrow that you wanted to get? Well, bad luck. You can see he's probably got enough. He's got enough for wheelbarrow, so he's going to be getting wheelbarrow. We'll take a look. He might not even think about wheelbarrow right now. He might realize that, well, hold on a minute. I'm going to have to get at least 1 knight out, so I might as well cancel wheelbarrow, and I think that's might have been what he's done. But we'll have a look. Yeah, it is going to be a knight that is coming out. Obviously, going up against the men-at-arms, it's going to mean that he needs to get that out sooner rather than later. But at the same time, like he's going to be able to sit here, and he can throw away this men-at-arms. He basically knows all I'm doing is I'm drawing the knight back here, and then that'll let me know where that knight is. And he's going to make his way around. He spots the stone. He spots the stone. He thinks he's gone for a sneaky second town center. What is the reaction here from Vortex? We've got to take a beautiful look at this base right here. I love this early English base right here. This is just, the Age 1 barracks is just such a beautiful building. You just can't get better. You can't get better. But now Knight going to be caught out, unfortunately. Going to be going down, but, or rather the Men-at-Arms going to be caught out right there. Hold on a minute. Men-at-Arms. Hold on a minute. Oh, he's working on... He's found a villager. He's found a villager. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get through. And this is the consequence of having those low health villagers. We were talking about it before. And that is definitely going to be an issue. But now Scout's going to be coming out onto the gold mine. And now the question is, how does Vortex react to this? Because what the French player is doing is, in my opinion, the correct thing. Against the English, I think this is 100% the right opening. Why is it the right opening? Because the English player has rushed you. It's kind of almost like it reminds me a lot of Age of Empires 2 style. You know, like Drush FC, that sort of thing. I've been watching a lot of Age of Empires 2. I'm not sure if you guys know. Hera is finally back to Age of Empires 2, and I gotta say, it's great watching him. He is really in his element when he's playing Age of Empires 2. It is incredible watching the APM go ham. He's playing the new civilizations. They've had a brand new expansion over there. I think it's I don't know what exactly it's called. The Indian Rajas, maybe that's it. I think that might be it. Not 100% sure, but anyway, it's a really cool. It's cool to see him to see him back. But yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that. You know, that there's the Drush FC, and I guess for me the question is, now this has been a really nice opening from our English player, but then how do they react to this? Because they know the second town center is going down, and I think that there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one is obviously go for a second town center yourself. Number two is look to put pressure on and try and take out that second town center. Number three is maybe even go for a bit of a fast castle yourself. And it looks like what we're going to be getting out from Vortex is going to be that early pressure. He's got 2 villagers on gold to me, which signals that, hey, I'm going to be dropping down my blacksmith. I'm going to be going for +1 ranged attack and siege engineering, and not necessarily in that order. So we'll look to see how he plays it, because I would expect that our French player is probably going to be able to survive as long as he goes into archery ranges, which is what he's doing, and then needs to put down a second range and needs to try and outmass his enemy with regard to archers. And now getting caught out in the middle. It looks like Wham may have overplayed his hand a little bit here. You can see he's also trying to get a wall up over towards the west, but I can't help but feel up against the English that walling's probably not going to be the wisest decision. I guess he's just looking to potentially preserve his gold. In this position, I would even be thinking about doing something that Divine does, which is putting down those outposts. So if you just, he's actually got enough stone in the bank to do it as well. So he might be thinking about doing it, but yeah, those outposts just help out so much. And you know, instead of this wall, I just would have dropped like an outpost here, because then that outpost can also defend against any push on this second town center. And this town center, I wouldn't necessarily say it's in the safest position either. Obviously, there's a lot of different places that you could have looked to have put it, but I guess realistically, it's about the best it's going to get. Like, other than quite literally behind your town center on this wood line, it's not going to get any better than that. But now we see the consequence of not putting that outpost up. So we have the longbows on the front, and sure, he's done a great job at blocking off this west side, but over towards the east side, that's where the difficulty really lies. And so Wham going to be in a difficult position here. You can see he's got plenty of archers in queue. He's gone double range, which is the correct response for him. But the question is going to be how much pressure Vortex is able to put on, how much damage is able to do, as we do indeed see siege engineering coming in. Then he'll be going into +1 after that. He's got a villager that he's brought forward here to the front line, going to be able to provide that network of castles, and now the longbow's just doing what longbows love to do. And this is it, right? Like, we talked about it before. You've got all these villagers underneath the town center with low health. He could look to poke himself in here. So we'll have to see how he looks to play it. It's definitely going to be an option for him. And we'll continue to see back towards the base units continuing to funnel across here. Any +1 in queue, just none yet. Not really adding too many farms. He's still got plenty of villagers underneath the town center on those sheep. And from here, he looks very good. He's just sitting. He's just chilling. He's adding villagers to wood. Look how much wood he's got. Does he have... He doesn't have double broadaxe, still yet to add in that second lumber camp as well. But we'll watch to see how he plays, as that first battering ram's going to be coming down. And now we see what the response is from Wham. Wham's unable to spot this, but he should know something is up. And we do see professional scouts coming out from Wham. This could be interesting. This could be interesting. It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know what to think about professional scouts. You can see he's actually brought them in. Hopefully none of these guys are doing... I'm sure you guys know about the bug that happens. Oh god, it's one of the scariest bugs in the game. If you're not paying attention... Your deer, or your villagers that are on deer, the way that it works is because on deer, you can go up to 25 in total. And if you're above 10, which is what your villagers can carry on the sheep, it will just essentially bug out. And when they transition from going, when they've got that high amount, when they go to a sheep, they bug out. But yeah, it's pretty game breaking, and it's happened before to Wham as well in Golden League. So he's got to be very careful with professional scouts. I'd almost be tempted to put them down towards this mill just so I knew that it wasn't going to happen again. But now the town center going to be under pressure. He's got a lot of villagers down here on the south side, just going to be gathering up that wood. Woodline's very open, and now a couple of horsemen going to be moving out as well. We'll enter into the cinematic mode as the scouts begin to come out as well. And we can see the longbows struggling a little bit here. There's a decent archer mass, but at the same time, I feel like it might not be enough. Longbows looking very good underneath this outpost. A villager going to be going down here. They try to get out. They try to take down that battering ram, but keep in mind there should be a villager from Vortex here on the front line. Where is it? I'm not too sure where it is. It might have gone home. No way he sent that villager home. That villager is so important because that villager enables you to continue repairing up that ram. He may have just sent it home. That might have been what he did. In which case, I don't know if I agree with it. But keep in mind, at this point, Vortex, the way that he's playing it, ideally, he wants to be looking to kill this second town center. That's going to be the big thing for him. If he can trade off or trade villagers as well, then that's going to be a big help for him. But the longer Wham survives with this second town center up, the more that it will become, into his favor. Right now, we see 39 villagers for Vortex, 52 villagers for Wham, and that's going to continue to grow. Obviously, not only is he French, now we see double villagers also coming out. So going to be looking to repair up that second ram, save himself a bit of wood instead of having to build a second one. But now villagers doing a nice little pop out the front. Wham doing a great job with that. Beautiful arrows trying to come in, but that little pop is just such a smart move. It's very difficult to do. You have to be on the ball. That's the big thing with it. You have to be on the ball if you're doing it. But now reinforcements going to get picked up in the middle of the map. Great way to stop this attack coming through, or at least slow this attack from coming down. +1 ranged attack also going to be coming in now for Wham. Wham's added in the second lumber camp. We'll take a look over at Vortex's base. He's added in the second one as well. You can see how heavy these guys are on wood, chopping through their entire forests almost at the 12-minute mark, and that's just classic H2 play right there. Both battering rams now fully repaired up, fully ready to roll. Town Center can't say the same for that, unfortunately. 1,800 health at this point in time. They're going to be struggling, trying to do it, but now going to be heading back towards the Town Center. You can see they did a bit of a forced drop-off there. He's going to be rerouting them and preparing them to do the battering ram pop. I guess you'd call it the TC pop, is what we used to call it in Age of Empires 3, the TC pop. Yeah, you can see the way he's posturing here. He's going to have to make a move, probably going to need to even pull villagers down just to repair the town center. As the longbows, they might be struggling right now, as Wham going to be trying to take them out. You can see he's doing a great job. Town center is going to be going down almost 100% here. No way you're going to be stopping the rams. He's not going to be able to repair that one either, but Knights coming in. A couple of scouts and horsemen also coming in, but not going in on the military. Ideally, they should be, but the mass of longbows is still looking pretty healthy at this point in time. The main concern is going to be these units that are just bugging out right now completely on the villagers. It looks like they've got their stuff together, and now Vortex, he's going to be in a tough position as Wham continues to push through. Scouts together with horsemen, together with knights. Everything's looking incredibly well right now for Wham, but keep in mind that second town center did go down, so that he has managed to equalize at least in that regard. Not a lot of villagers went down there. As you guys saw, the fight typically was going to be about military, so we'll do a quick stock take, see where these guys are. 64 villagers for Wham, 42 villagers for Vortex, so definitely a nice little villager lead there for Wham, but keep in mind it's not going to keep growing. So Vortex looks to go third age behind this, and it's going to help him out, but his macro's fallen apart. He's got 1,000 resources in the bank, 1,000 wood right now, looking like me at this point. I tell you what, 13 minutes in the game, you're floating 1,000 wood. That ain't pretty. That ain't the place that you want to be. Scouts together in tandem, just working to clean up all of these units. Struggling Vortex is as he tries to get back. Might even need to think about a bit of a men-at-arms switch, maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe a men-at-arms switch against the French is not a good thing, because they've already got the knights out, but they don't always want to go for the knights. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe he does look to go for that. I think that could be something that looks to work. But the question is, so I mean, at this point, Vortex has tried his best to do some damage here, and I do think he's done that, but now we see that Wham's actually gathering up quite a lot of gold, so this could be a sign that he's thinking about going Castle Age. He's got 10 villagers in the queue, so not going to be forgetting about his economy at all. but I'm curious to see what their reactions are from here, because the way I think about it from Wham, ideally you'd love to get that second town center up, but you're already in a bit of an economic lead. So what he could be thinking is, well, hold on, I've probably got, you know, a good 20 villager lead at this point. That TC was up for a fair bit of time, which he does. He's got 68 villagers compared to 44, so he's up 24 villagers. He could look to go to a castle age, convert it, and then just push in mass knights, spam it out. You know, we could even see a potential Royal Institute. It's a little bit all in, but it is possible. Instead, he does opt to go for a bit more of a safe route. Going to be dropping down that second town center, Wham does, and now looking to get his upgrade. So going to be going for double broad axe, going to be going for horticulture, and from here continuing to move forward across the map. Longbows quite strong, but a fair amount of archers here as well. Do have their +1 upgrade, so they're going to be absolutely fine. Obviously, the French have got their +1 melee upgrade as well. No +1 melee upgrade coming out from our English player just yet. He's got the +1 melee armor, though, that is coming through. And going to continue adding Spearmen at this point in time. Spearmen, Longbowman. Going to be the combo that he goes for. Compared to his opponent, who's going to be on Archer and Horseman, which I like it, to be honest. Archer Horseman is a very potent composition, especially against the English. Just the extra speed on the Horseman gives you a lot more mobility, in my opinion, in these Age 2 fights. I think once you get to Age 3, there's enough upgrades to justify to go for the Knight, but in Age 2 it just makes it so much harder. And I guess one of the other things to note is that we haven't seen any raids coming out from Wham. He's just been playing very heads up. You know, it's one of the things I often say when you're playing heads up. It's a way that you're just playing, you know, sort of head on into the person. You're not really looking to do raids or any sneaky shenanigans or anything like that. And we haven't seen anything like that from Wham coming out. So he's just quite literally, you know, just scouting out his enemy and then just reacting to it, not looking to get in any cheeky little raids or anything like that, but he's continuing to get in these deer, doing a great job. Obviously playing up against the English, it means they're not going to be taking their deer, so even if he wanted to, he could look to try and take these, be very, very cheeky. I think he could probably run along the edge of the map there, but we'll have to see how he goes, because he's going to be clearing up this second hunt from the English player. Now we do indeed hear Age 3 coming through from Vortex. Be getting that King's Palace down. Once again, putting it in the front of the base. Always a little bit of a curious position. I guess it makes sense because he's got all of his villages here, so it's very easy to pull, but, you know, he's going to be regretting it in 10 minutes when the trebuchets are sieging it down, and it's like, you know, he's trying to repair it, and it's just so hard because it's only 2,500 health. There are a lot of other spots that I guess he could have put it, like maybe on this wood line potentially, but, you know, it still makes sense. It still makes sense. Yeah, you could have pulled these villagers here, maybe pulled the gold villagers. I'm curious to see what his timing is going to be, though, once he hits castle. So now that he's up, he's going to be looking to get his upgrades. So most likely you're going to see veteran archers coming out. You're also going to see the men at arm upgrades, and Wham also reaches the next age as well. Now, keep in mind, Wham's economy behind this, very strong, 85 villagers, 33 military population. Compare that to Vortex, who's sitting on 52 and 32. So it's going to take some time for Vortex to get back into this game. Ideally, there is a window here right now for Wham, probably about the next 4 or 5 minutes, which is going to be perfect for him. He really needs to make sure he gets his upgrades, and then he just begins to apply pressure. Now, I don't think he needs to go to the extent of even dropping down a Mangonel or a Siege Workshop and looking to get trebuchets out. I don't think he needs to do any of that. I think he's doing, like, all of this is the right stuff. Just all you need to do, units, flood. You've got the villagers behind this. Your economy is insane. But now we see the men-at-arms switch looking to come out here for Vortex. And I do like this play. I think if there's any way for him to sort of keep himself back in the game, it's going to be through that. It's going to be hard going up against the French. Obviously, the French have got incredibly strong knights, and that's something that they'll look to abuse, look to use, and that's exactly what we see. So more knights coming out, more veteran royal knights coming out. Interesting how the veteran royal knights are listed on the they're listed on the UI as 2 different knights. Is that just because one of them has got the... I don't know exactly why that is. And finally, we've got a raid coming down for Wham. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the UI. I can see 3 of them are veteran, and one of them is just normal. I'm like, why is that? And he did actually go for Mangonel. Okay, there's that surprises me. I didn't think he needed it. He could have gone for a trebuchet as well, but a Mangonel works. Plenty of villagers on stone as well, so might be looking to go for a bit of a keep on the face, and with a nice opening like that, with the King's Palace on the front line, I'd be very tempted to drop a keep right here. If you could even scout it out, maybe a keep up there would not be bad. It basically just invalidates this town center and forces Vortex, you know, to kill it now. And if he doesn't, he just falls behind on the villager even further. And now coming in, we see the veteran archers beginning to push through. Armor Chad yet to come through for Vortex. You can see he's struggling only on 5 armor. going up against the longbows, which have got 8 attacks, or the archers that have got 8 attack, rather. He's got veteran longbow out himself. He's going to be trying his best, but still being raided behind this. He's managing to react and doing a pretty decent job. We're continuing to see units funneling across the map, but this is the consequence of going for those men-at-arms. Sure, they're strong and tanky, but they're very, very slow, and they continue funneling their way across the map, and we actually see the return of the Mangonel. The Mangonel is out, the Mangonel is about, and the Mangonel looks to connect. It does a pretty good job at connecting right there, and it'll continue connecting well. There's obviously a lot of longbows there. Spearmen looking to try and come through. Only hardened spearmen, so it's only getting the veteran upgrade through at the moment. 4 barracks here on the front line. That's all he's got. And now going to continue working his way towards the base. Is not looking good right now for Vortex. Wham going to be pushing in. We'll head into the cinematic mode as we begin to witness the fight beginning to unfold. A lot of knights coming out. The spearmen going to be trying their best, but you can see the archers just doing a great job of picking those units off individually. A huge amount of royal knights out at this point, and it's just looking so difficult for Vortex. He's going to continuing to try and catch his opponent, but just the kiting non-stop is just going to be so effective up against this. And now this is the win condition right here. It's knight superiority, and with this, the knights are going to be able to charge in, and oh, yep. You like to see that, don't you? The cherry on top right there. That is going to be the keep that is going to basically just nullify this. He'll be using this as a staging point. He's got the catapult out, or the Mangonel out, rather. I suspect we've got a trebuchet on the way as well. No, he's just going full mangoes. Interesting. Perhaps the Mangonel isn't dead. Perhaps the Mangonel is not dead. This keep coming up. Let's see if Vortex spots it. Oh, he spots it. Oh, he definitely spots it. This is going to be tough for him. He's going to try his best to hold on. We see the knights continuing to come in. And now the Mangonel are going to be firing off. Villagers trying their best. 152 gold in there. He sees the keep coming up now. And this is going to be very tough for Vortex with that keep coming up. And he does indeed. Good game out. Fellas, that is the first game in the series. If you want to catch the second game, it's going to be on King of the Hill, Vortex's home map. I encourage you, check out Golden League. It's live right now. If you're watching this on YouTube and it's been uploaded within like the last hour, the last 2 hours, the last 3 hours, something like that, we're live right now over on Twitch. So come and join us. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch more. Let's run through these stats in the end and have a look. That village account's going to be the big thing that really set it apart. You can see here a couple of little fights coming off, but then Wham once again gets up that second town center. You can see he really sort of fell off in this little area, but at the same time, he's just so far ahead from Vortex. Thanks, game. Thank you. I wasn't doing anything there. A military count, he managed to hold on during those fights. I think that's really what set it all apart. But fellas, I hope you enjoyed this casted game. We'll be jumping on to game number 2. Check us out. Twitch TV /EGC TV. That's where all your EGC TV content is going to be, including Golden League. So be there or be square.